Hey guys, so this video is going to be my everyday brow routine, and we're just going to go ahead and get right on into it. And I'm starting off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder in chocolate, and I'm just going to use my spoolie just to clean up and make my brows fall into place. And I'm just going to start off with the lighter color, which I'm going to be showing soon in the powder duo, and I'm just going to make little light haired strokes, and you want to be sure to use an angled brush with this just to help with the powder. And as you can see here, I'm going to start off with my light haired strokes, and I'm starting off on the bottom of my brow, and I'm just going to follow the natural outline of my brow all the way to the tail end of it. And I'm just going to keep making my light haired strokes just to make it look more full and thick. I'm starting off with the light color just to kind of act as a little base for the darker color when we go in with the darker color. And after I kind of outline the bottom of my brow, I'm just going to start filling in my whole brow all together. And you want to remember to use light strokes just because you don't want your brow to look too harsh. You don't want it to look fake or anything. The light strokes is meant to resemble hair, so make sure you're not using a heavy hand with this. Right here, I'm brushing my brow hairs down just because I feel like it helps me get more of a precise line for the top of my brow. Not everybody does this, but this is just what works for me. And I'm going to fill in the top of my brow with the darker color, because we already went in with the lighter color, so now we're going to start with the darker color. I'm not using my hair-like strokes anymore. I'm using the angle of my brush and pushing it down where I see where my hairline is. Not hairline, but like the hairline of my brow. Just because I feel like that makes a more precise line, and I want it to be more exact on the actual line of my brow. I don't want it to be hair-like strokes. That's for the middle of my brow. At least that's how I feel about it. So I'm using the edge of my brush. I'm not doing it anymore, but I'm going to keep explaining it. But I was using the edge of my brush to create that line for the top of my brow. Not the tip, but the edge of it. And I was pushing the product down. And here I'm just going to fill in the inner corner, I guess the inner corner of my brow. And I'm not dipping in my product anymore. I'm just going to use whatever left over on it just because I don't want it to be too harsh for me. And now I'm just going to spoolie it out just so everything kind of blends together. It makes it look more smooth and more natural-like. And here I'm just going to keep filling in the tail of my brow, just the sparse areas that I see, just to make it darker, to make it look more thick and full. Be sure that you keep blending the keep blending with your spoolie, because you don't want your brows to look like the Nike sign. You do not want them to be harsh. You do not want them to be blocky. That is not a cute look to have. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Chocolate, and I'm just going to brush this through my brows, and it's going to set them and to give them a little bit of a tint. Now I'm starting out on the other brows. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of mosquito bites. Like, I've never got bitten on my face before, and they're itching really bad, and it's just horrible all over for me. But yes, I have mosquito bites. But I'm starting on the other brow, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. As you can see, I'm going at it from an angle from below. I'm not going at it from straight on, but I'm going at it when I'm filling in my brows. I'm using an angle from below to fill in the bottom part. If you struggle with knowing what your shape of your brow should be, I mean, you can decide what you want your shape to be, but if you struggle with it, the inner part of your brow, if you line it up with your nose in the inner corner of your eye, that's where the inner part of your brow should stop. And then if you go from your nostril through your pupil, that should be where your arch is. And then if you go from your nostril to the outer corner of your eye, that's where your tail end of your brow should stop, if that helps. And I'm just using the hair like strokes again, going in with the darker color now. Now I'm going at it from an angle from up above because it's the top of my brow. So I just do that just because I feel like it helps with getting a clean line. If I go from below, I feel like it, or just from my experience, it's gotten smudged a little bit and it's not just a straight line for me. So it just helps with the cleanup process in the end. And now just brushing through it again. This isn't I sped up the clip, so this isn't as fast as I went when I was recording it. But just take your time and use hair like strokes and just try to get as natural as you possibly can. I mean, if you want a bold brow, go ahead and get that bold brow. You go ahead and do you. But me personally, I don't do the bold brows anymore. And now I'm brushing them down again just to get that precise line at the top of my brow, and pushing the product down, going from the edge of the brush, not the tip of the brush, not using the hair like strokes anymore, but using the edge of the brush, pushing the product down onto the start of the hairline of my brow. As you can see, this brow is a little bit more thick and a little bit more, for lack of a better word, wild, more than the other one is, but concealer is definitely going to clean that up for me. And I'm just going in with the inner corner again and just making it more thick but yet still natural, because we do not want blocky brows, we do not want Legos for brows. And this concealer that I'm using today is from Sephora, their own personal brand. It is the gel serum concealer in the shade Caramel, I believe. And I'm just going to put little lines right underneath my brow, like on the brow bone, on the top and bottom of it. I had to tie my hair back because it was definitely getting in the way of this concealer. And I'm just going to use a little brush just to clean up the line of it, and definitely go slow with this because I messed up a little bit on one of my brows. You'll see it later on, but I blend it down just because you don't want halo brows. You don't want brows that have the lighter edge to them. I am using a concealer that isn't the same shade as me on the top of my brow, but I'm going to go in with foundation later on to blend that out. And as you can see right here, I messed up a little bit. I was going too fast and it messed up the shape of my brow, but I'm going to clean it up as best as I can. But you definitely want to use concealer just to make your brows look more defined and just more neat. And now I'm going to go in with my beauty blender just to help blend out those edges to make it not so bright around my brows, and that's definitely going to help when it comes to the foundation. And my brows are finished, and this is the finished look that I came up with today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on social media. I'm very, very active on Snapchat. Snapchat is lit. But just see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye guys.